UFOs aren't simply real, they also have interfered repeatedly with the United States' nuclear weapons capabilities. After the break, we'll talk to people behind the film who say they've got proof of that. This is not an irresponsible take. It is fact-based, and it's pretty shocking. We'll be right back. We used to be defensive on this topic, but there's no reason to be. There is now an enormous amount of evidence, including physical evidence, that UFOs, whatever they are real. Why don't we know a lot more about this? Because the government has hidden that information from us, outrageously. But now some of that information has come into public view thanks to a new documentary called The Phenomenon. We learned the feds are hiding more than we thought they were.
All we're saying, nobody has to agree that why it's there. But shouldn't we at least be spending some money to study all these phenomena? Shouldn't we study this stuff? The answer is yes, and that's all this was about. And why the federal government all these years has covered up, put brake pads on everything, stopped it. I think it's very, very bad for our country.
Are you saying that there's some evidence that still hasn't seen the light of day?
I'm saying most of it hasn't seen the light of day.
It's outrageous. And it's not a partisan question, by the way. That, of course, was former Senate Majority Leader Harry Reid of Nevada, a Democrat if there ever was one. But that's not even the biggest claim he makes. According to the film, Reid said that UFOs have actually and repeatedly interfered with our nuclear weapons capabilities. So where are these UFOs from? Some researchers told the filmmakers that their origins are becoming clearer.
Dr. Jacques Vallée has collected purported metal debris from UFO cases dating as far back as 1947 that experts are analyzing in a state-of-the-art laboratory. He was astonished to find their composition was unlike any known metal.
This material was manufactured. It's not natural. It's not natural to the materials that we have around us in the lab or on the Earth.
Yeah, physical evidence of extraterrestrial spaceships visiting Earth, not a big deal. It's nothing compared to like the fly on Mike Pence's forehead. If this wasn't an election year, we'd be doing a full hour on this, maybe a full week. It's that important. Unfortunately, we just have a few minutes with James Fox. He's the director and producer of The Phenomenon, now available on streaming services, and Christopher Mellon, a former senior intelligence official from the Department of Defense. They join us tonight. Mr. Fox, first to you, thank you both for coming on and for making this film. I just want to ask you in turn about these two strains from the documentary. The first, to you, James Fox, is the question of the nuclear weapons facilities. How often do we think UFOs have visited and why?
Well, that was one of the big bombshells that Harry Reid dropped during production of the film. It really kind of caught me off guard because it's the first time, a government official of his magnitude, of his level, had revealed that these UFOs were not only seen over, super secret nuclear weapons facilities, but they were interacting, shutting on and off some of the missiles. He went as far as even saying that if the president had called upon to launch the missiles in several occasions, they couldn't have done it. The missiles were deactivated. And this has also been happening in Russia. And we document those cases very thoroughly with high-level military officials testifying about these incidents.
It's beyond. Mr. Mellon, quickly to you, physical evidence of UFOs, metal from the craft, where?
Well, this is, my congratulations to James. This is the most informative and engaging documentary, an important documentary on this subject, because it's no longer a theoretical issue, as you've observed. This is now, the Defense Department has confirmed this is happening. Congress is asking questions. They're asking for a report. So this information, people need to get an understanding and a context with which to sort of process and absorb this. In terms of the materials, there are private researchers, Jacques, perhaps foremost among them, also to the STARS Academy, that have materials and are funding research. Jacques is a meticulous scientist, so he's sending it to peer review in multiple labs. But the gist of it is that those materials were engineered at an atomic level. It's a capability that we don't even possess. If they can prove that and demonstrate that, that'll raise a lot of interesting questions.
You think? You've been on this for a long time, Christopher Mellon. I appreciate it. Thank you both. Congrats on the film. Have a great weekend. We'll see you Monday. Spend some time with the ones you love.